name's Sean Connors and welcome back to The Outsiders. And tonight we're going to be doing a DM's Tips program, and it's DM's Tips program number 4. And it's all about, it's one of my most famous videos that I originally did that got the most amount of emails, a lot of comments, and I think probably really helped my channel get noticed, and it was called Invisible Monkeys. Now before I get into that, what is it really, in essence? It's about getting the right DM's mindset. That's the reality of Invisible Monkeys. Because we've talked about the dice, we've talked about the screen, and we've talked about getting feedback. They're quite important components in their own right. But getting the right mindset is something that really only comes after a few years of play normally. It's something you don't normally think about until you've DM for a long time. And the only way you really understand it is when you actually find a video like this or find someone talking about it who has those experiences. And so I'm trying to share with new DMs and even experienced DMs how critical it is to have the right mindset when you go in to run a game that we all love. So let's start with what is Invisible Monkeys. Well, the first thing is, as you probably know, some people see dead people. I see invisible monkeys. Now, I know that this is going to sound odd, but I've actually got them here now. They're on my shoulders and my back. Now, there are different size monkeys. There are little rhesus monkeys, as equally there are big baboons. Now, before I go into the baboons, and I won't use my wife here, as she probably will be watching this video and probably will kill me, we'll use different types of large baboons for this purpose. But let's start off with what do these really refer to? Well, there are two types of problems. There are, and for monkeys as well that go into this, there are problems that are ungaming related and have different sized monkeys associated with them, and there are gaming problems that have different sized monkeys associated with them. So, what are the ungaming related problems? What sort of thing do we mean by that? Well, we mean things like when you wake up in the morning, you get up late, that's a monkey. The car won't start, another monkey, you've had a bill come through the door, the massive bill, all monkeys, and they start building through the day. Now, sometimes it's amazing how these things have a habit of nagging you in the back of your mind. And then if you add on top of those monkeys, all the gaming related ones, because you're going to run a game that night, there's a lot you're carrying, and the weight of that on your shoulders, the weight, it really alters the way that you GM. For a new GM, you don't often see this. You don't think about it. It's not something you're going to think about at all. But I guarantee you these things have a way of altering your performance. Now, if you think about it for a split second and just take a different slant, different approach here, and we talk about high-performance athletes or a sportsman in general or a sports lady, we all know a small nagging injury or an impact that can have on performance. That can play on their mind. They've had a knee injury, they do the hurdles, for example. That's going to weigh on their minds. It doesn't matter what we think it won't. It does. It's the same with a GM. The little details can have a massive impact. All of them weighing up on you can have a massive impact into the game. So great GMs, really top-notch GMs, what they have a brilliant ability to do is literally get rid of them. They get rid of these monkeys before entering the room, and they come in there absolutely ready to go. And the advantage is for the performance, because it is a performance. GMing is an art, a performance art. They're at the height of their game. They're ready to deliver the best session they can because they've unburdened themselves of all the problems. So how do you go about doing that? What are the steps you need to do? Well, the first thing is particularly on game day, it's critical that you break these, be aware of them, be aware of the problems. Try to have, it's like getting your mind in the best possible shape possible. Things happen, it's everyday life, but delegate, remove them. Talk to your loved ones, talk to your family. If you've got a big bill that's come up and you can deal with it there and then, great. If you can't, speak to the company. The usual obvious thing, speak to the company, get the burden off, take the burden off. We're late, did it go down all right at work? Forget it. Once it's over and done with, unburden yourself. Look, you were late, it's finished. You have to find a way to remove those, even if it means talking to people you trust, just to get rid of everyday life problems. Now, why this is important, I'm speaking about these before we move on to the gaming ones, is simply this. Your players will normally come in with ungame-like burdens, normal everyday life monkeys that they'll have on their shoulders. That's why the preamble of a game is really important. I'm going to come back to that in a moment. Now, when we talk about gaming ones, this is really where it's very important for the GM. You're a new GM, or even an experienced one. We all suffer from problems from time to time. What type of problems are they? This is part of preparation really in many ways, isn't it? Unburdening yourself, ready to do the performance really. So what do? It depends what it is. I mean, simply put, let's give you a few examples. If it's something to do with rules that you're not familiar with, make notes, put them on your screen. If it's initiative, you have a problem running initiative, get one of the players to run it for you. Hand the monkey over. The more monkeys that you can remove from your back, you're not burdening the player. If you pick the right person, they might love the fact that you've trusted them enough to run the initiative for you, because it allows you to focus on the better parts for you, the stronger parts to your game. The same as if you have a new GM and you think that there's a lot of rules. Pathfinder, for example, a lot of rules, and I do stumble occasionally. Have a rules guy in the group who's really good at that. If there's a rule lawyer guy and knows the rules really well, ask them occasionally when you need them, really critically need them. Could you just double check that for me, please, really quickly? Normally they'll know the answer straight away. You can carry on. It takes the burden off. You're removing that monkey, giving it to someone else, and freeing yourself ready for that performance. And that, in essence, is what Invisible Monkeys and removing the burden is all about, because it allows you as a GM to come in feeling really good, pumped up and very confident, and that allows you to deliver some of the other key critical parts that we'll go on to discuss about confidence, about tonality and voice, and things like that will make more sense when you understand about unburdening. And that's what Invisible Monkeys does. Now, we spoke about the preamble. Now, the players will come in to your game and they will have life's burdens on their shoulders. These invisible monkeys, you'll get used to it. You'll see the body language. It's funny, you'll laugh, you'll look back at this video and you will say, and many people have, yeah, I could see that so-and-so actually had a monkey on their back. So that's the preamble for you. You talk to them, how's your day? You look a little bit worried, Jack. How's things? What's happened? Oh, the bloody car, Shauna broke down and had a nightmare getting it. Well, look, you're here now. That's all that matters. Let me take that burden from you. Don't worry about it. We'll get you home. Come and enjoy the game. Yeah, and that's what your job is as a GM, is to recognise that preamble is critical to get their life experiences off their back so that they can focus on your game. And by you understanding that is so critical in the preamble. Yeah, it can sometimes just be a bit of a banter about, what the last session was like and all that, but that's great. But you'll always find it's amazing how many times your players will say something and you think, they really need a pick-me-up, and I've got to be doing that for them. And that's the reason why it's so important. So understanding your own and understanding your players makes such a difference to your performance. And the more you think about putting that into the context of high-performing caliber people, you realise how serious it really is to have these invisible burdens, these invisible monkeys, sitting on our shoulders and not doing anything about them, because they honestly affect your performance in unique and unusual ways. Even your body language changes. When you feel unburdened, you're free, you're able to deliver your very, very best, and that's the point of this video. Anyway, I won't go on any further, but this has been all about Invisible Monkeys. I've been Sean Connors. Take care of yourselves, looking forward to seeing you soon, and happy gaming. Bye-bye for now.